United's search for an additional striker to provide competition and cover for the likes of Rasmus Højlund has been well documented this season, and it's a very expensive area in which to find a capable player to come in and provide some value for a team with the ambitions that United do have. Now, United have gone back and forward with ideas of which type of striker to buy. Do you buy an established quantity who's in the peak of their career, which will obviously be expensive, to provide competition and rotate with Rasmus Højlund, but you don't want to stifle Rasmus Højlund's development either? Then should they go for someone with less experience that they can rotate with Højlund to provide some healthy competition and to help develop both players in the same way and provide realistic cover, and to buy someone who's also going to be willing to stay on the sidelines while Rasmus Højlund gets some starts and some minutes? It's a very, very difficult thing to negotiate. Strikers are few and far between on the ground and very, very difficult to find, and of course, very, very costly. Evan Ferguson's been mentioned, but he could cost anywhere upwards of, between 70 and 100 million, given his potential and Brighton's ability to get top dollar for any players that they are willing to sell. There's Joshua Zirkzee, who's been linked with his scoring exploits in Serie A, gaining the attention of top clubs across Europe. However, reports indicate that his dream move is to AC Milan. Ivan Toney, of course, is on our radar as well, but there is also talk that Arsenal want to go for someone in the shape of Ivan Toney, and Arsenal seem to be going for a lot of players that United seem to want as well in various forward positions, and a couple in defence as well. So that leaves the question, who should we go for? And one player in particular has really started to shine this season for Fulham, and that's Rodrigo Muniz, who could be an absolute steal and is showing alarmingly good form for the minutes that he's been afforded. So let's take a look. Should United go for Rodrigo Muniz? United's striker hunt is going to be a priority this summer, with it looking likely we're going to be losing Jadon Sancho. Anthony might be sold. Mason Greenwood still needs to be sorted out, and it's looking like he could be sold. Rashford not really doing it, and Højlund having an inordinate amount of pressure placed on his young shoulders to lead the line for United. Even without his youth and inexperience and the pressure being put on the young man, even with the other players that we have leaving the club, it's quite clear that United do need to buy reinforcements, and top quality reinforcements, to provide competition for Rasmus Højlund, and just to provide options for Erik ten Hag in what is always a very jam-packed fixture schedule for United. But with European football not even guaranteed this season, maybe the games won't be as thick and fast next season as they have been this season. But a striker is without doubt a priority. And as I said, it's very difficult to find someone that fits the bill of what United are looking for. But Rodrigo Muniz is a very interesting option that United should consider. Firstly, because of the price. Having been bought for 8 million by Fulham, I believe 3 years ago from Flamengo, he has done quite well since coming into the club. And if we have a quick look at FB Ref here, there's some very interesting statistics on how he's done. Now, a lot of people will point to the fact that he played for Middlesbrough, he was on loan there from Fulham, didn't score too many goals. But if we look a little bit deeper into the numbers and the metrics, you'll find that the kid has actually been doing very, very well. Hailing from Brazil, he's got a good frame. He's quick, but an all-out poacher who's been kind of likened to Zlatan Ibrahimovic, if that's even a fair comparison. He is an out-and-out striker. He is a poacher. That is what he is for. He is a target man, and scoring goals is what this kid likes to do. And if we scroll down a little bit here, you can see he's in the 95th percentile for touches in the attacking penalty box. Shots total, 98th percentile. And you can see here from his player stats, it's very heavily leaning over to the left-hand side for goals, shots, and he's even got some ability for aerial duels won and clearances. So this guy is able to come back into the box and provide some sort of a level of cover, doing quite well in his defensive duels, and not bad numbers for interceptions either. You can see here on the graph on the left-hand side, obviously there's a different display for that on the right. But if we scroll down just a little bit more, you can see that His standard stats here, so having started out in Serie A in Brazil with Flamengo as a young man. Nine matches played, 3 starts with a total of 351 minutes. Okay, so roughly about 3 games, 3 goals and 1 assist. Pretty good, especially as a young man playing as a starter for a big club in Brazil. Fulham, joined Fulham for 8 million after those seasons there, and won the championship with them, of course. And in 25 games, he only had 2 starts, but played 500 minutes. Again, roughly about 5 games, maybe 6. But it's usually about 5.5 games, with 5 of them starts. And he got 5 goals. 5 goals in 500 minutes is quite good. That's almost a goal a game, very similar to his form at Flamengo. He was given a run in the championship with Middlesbrough upon Fulham's promotion. And in 17 games and 9 starts, got 2 goals. Not great, 2 goals in almost 900 minutes, but that could be down to the way that they were playing. Bring him into Fulham this season. Out of 20 games and 13 starts, he's got 8 goals and 1 assist. This is a guy who's proven in the Premier League now and can score goals for a team that, isn't, free-flowing and all-conquering and not scoring as many goals this season as they did last season. So this is a player that United need to seriously consider, because there's talk of United being able to get him for around 40 or 50 million euro or pounds. Marca in Spain also reported that as a child he supported United and would absolutely jump at the chance to join the Old Trafford club and to take the next step in his career. And bar what was a bit of an outlier season with Middlesbrough in the Championship, this kid can score. And in 13 starts to have 8 goals and 1 assist for a team like Fulham is something that can't be sniffed at. And at 50 million euro, it would be a very affordable option for someone who is, so far, a proven quantity in the Premier League. Anyone that tunes into this channel with any sort of regularity will know my views on players coming in from Germany and Italy. It's no guarantee of success, and with the type of fee that someone like Joshua Zirkzee would command, it's a risk. If you're going to have to pay anywhere between 70 and 90 million for him, because they will be looking for that kind of fee given what United paid Atalanta for Rasmus Højlund, no doubt that Joshua Zirkzee would be around the 60 to 70 million pound mark. Evan Ferguson too at the 100 million pound mark. But again, he is also a proven goal scorer as well. But is he looking for somewhere where he will start regularly? Who knows? And someone like Rodrigo Muniz, I think, would happily come into the United ranks and rotate with Rasmus Højlund without much fuss and without causing much problem. Would you get that with Joshua Zirkzee? I don't know. Get it with Evan Ferguson? Perhaps. He's rotating quite a lot with the forward players that they have at their disposal now, with João Pedro and Danny Welbeck more recently coming into the frame due to injuries elsewhere. This is a player that I think United do need to actually seriously consider. We did do a profile on Gyökeres playing with Sporting Lisbon, and he has been absolutely rifling the ball into the back of the net. And in a very similar vein, he is an out-and-out goal poacher. He likes to stick around the box. He's got an absolutely lethal shot, and his figures this season cannot be argued. But we've seen other players coming from the Portuguese league with big numbers and not able to replicate them in the Premier League. Muniz has come in and shown that he can do it. So with 8 goals and 1 assist in 20 games and 13 starts, that's 9 goal contributions in 1,200 minutes. That is a very, very serious player who I think might be ready to take the next step in his career. And with 50, 60 million on the table, is that something that Fulham will be in a position to refuse? You would hope not. So, what do you guys think? Is this the kind of player that we should be going for? Would you prefer a bigger name? Would you prefer someone like Joshua Zirkzee, who's coming in from Serie A, doing it week in, week out? I wouldn't say at the top level, but certainly doing it for Bologna under Thiago Motta in Serie A. I think it's a very interesting player. I hope he is in the mix for Ratcliffe and Ineos in the summer. I think it would be very foolish for us not to consider a player of his quality. And if he were to come in at some time during the summer, I, for one, would be very excited to see how him and Rasmus Højlund would be able to rotate or maybe even play together and share responsibilities and continue their development in the club while providing some very, very healthy competition for one another. But please, what do you guys think? It's something that I think we need to consider. And yeah, the numbers don't lie. And I for one hope that that this guy is someone that we seriously consider and look at bringing in during the summer. So, as always, thank you very, very much for joining in. Please hit that like button, hit subscribe. Enjoy the Bournemouth game on Saturday. If you haven't already done so, check out my episode from yesterday, looking at our predicted 11, a little bit of a shake-up from me in terms of some players that I think need to be dropped, and a look at how I think we should set up both in and out of possession. And enjoy the weekend, and I will see you next week. Thanks for joining.